Hey folks, Eric from Belgrade Beat. This is a video called Why I Live in Belgrade, Not Bratislava. So basically, yeah, my family is from Bratislava. I grew up in Canada and I've also lived in London, UK. It's my father's family from Bratislava and they moved to Canada in 1951. And, you know, I made another video why I live in Belgrade, not Toronto, why I live in Belgrade, not London, and since I just got back from Bratislava this morning, it's fresh in my mind, I wanted to make this video about why I live in Belgrade, not Bratislava. So, reason number one is because Belgrade is a much more happening place. It's about 3 or 4 times the size of Bratislava, and there's just a lot more going on culturally. There's a lot more of a buzz in the place. It's older, bigger, stronger city with lots of crazy stuff going on. Bratislava seems kind of sleepy. Every time I visit, I'm reminded how you can see more people on the street, of any sort of suburb of Belgrade than you can in the center of Bratislava on a Saturday afternoon, for example. And that's one thing. And I find that people in Belgrade are a lot more open than in Bratislava. Now, why would I want to live in Bratislava? Actually, I would. I really would. Because, I mean, my family's from there. It's unfortunate that they were ethnic Germans and got ethnically cleansed in 1945 by the Russian Red Army. I really have a soft spot in my heart for Slovakia and the Slovak people. I really like Slovak women, and I think they're a really good match for me. And, I could imagine, settling down with a Slovak woman because there's something in their way of being that just makes me go crazy in a good way. And, that I don't get from Serbian women. So that's one thing why I would go and live in Bratislava. But Belgrade just seems a place with so much more potential, right? And every time I go to Bratislava, it's like, yeah, nice place, but there's not enough going on here. There's not enough potential. There's not enough. Even with Bratislava and Vienna, 1 hour apart, it's still not as inspiring as living in the city center of Belgrade like I do. So why do I live in Belgrade, not Bratislava? People are more friendly. They speak English really openly. In Slovakia, I feel there's always this you're a foreigner sort of like way of interacting, which is kind of keep you at arm's length. Whereas in Belgrade, I feel like more than anywhere I've lived, more than even in Canada or England, I feel like I'm a part of the society and a part of people's lives and not judged for being, different or whatever, but just I am myself and it fits really well here. Bratislava, I think I'm a little too aggressive and loud, and Slovak people tend to speak really quietly and sort of, be very polite and sort of like they don't have this loud aggressive thing that the Serbian people do that I do inside my soul, and that actually my family from there did have, but they were ethnic Germans and really funny people. When your family is ethnically cleansed from a place and you grow up with the stories of that, and going back is kind of weird, because it's like, as one of my Serbian friends sort of described about Croatia and Bosnia or whatever, those places, it's like you visit a house and somebody else is living in it, and it's the house you used to live in, but now someone else lives there. That's what Bratislava feels. It used to be a mostly German and Hungarian city, I think, with Czechs and Jews, of course, and Slovaks, all living peacefully in this beautiful city in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That's the world that my grandparents, they grew up in Czechoslovakia, which was point on the transition between the two world wars of where it is now and where it was, in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which sounds like it would have been a great place to live during the Austro-Hungarian Empire, where, all sorts of different ethnicities from the empire could come and congregate on a sort of, multicultural level in a city that accepted everybody and was very tolerant, maybe like Belgrade was in Yugoslavia's time. I'm not sure. But Bratislava now is mostly Slovak, And as after World War II and stuff, when everybody moved out, they moved in from, the smaller towns and villages of Slovakia. They moved in there. So most of the people in Bratislava have only lived there, 2 or 3 max generations. And there's no, not that many, old school, maybe I'm wrong, but old school Slovak people who've lived there from generations, urban people, intelligentsia, aristocracy, those types of people. And because certainly in 1945, I have this story directly from my family, is that they were taken to concentration camps. Even if you were Czech or Slovak and you were part of the ruling elite, the communists put you in concentration camps to just sort of, and took, most of your wealth away. And this happened to my family, my grandmother's family, the Tech family, there in 1945. They took a bunch of property from us. And there was just allowed to keep one apartment in the city center for the whole family, which is fine, it was, communism, that's what it was. Anyways, but yeah, now I go back and, the tombstones where my great-grandfather is buried and stuff, most of in that cemetery there in the city center there, most of the tombstones have German names. But it's hard to find German people there, or Austrian people, because they all got lost. They all got systematically, ethnically cleansed from Central Eastern Europe, all the Slavic countries, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Serbia, Croatia, etc. After World War II, that was the program, and that was how my family moved to Canada, essentially, by way of Austria. But more than anything, the potential in Belgrade is why I live here. I also tried living in Vienna for a bit, a couple months in 2007. That didn't work for me either. Vienna is too much this Western Germanic culture that, demands everything be in order. It's got a different sort of flair than, Northern Germany, Sweden, UK, Canada, United States, whatever, Netherlands or whatever. But it's still that Germanic culture that I was trying to escape in Canada, in England, this sort of rule-based culture, cold people, and I don't know how to explain it more, but I didn't want to live in Vienna. I didn't feel like it was embracing the Slavic feeling that I had to strengthen in my heart after growing up in Canada. So then in 2007, when I had spent that time living in Bratislava and Vienna, I fell in love with Bratislava while I was living in Vienna. My family told me go to Vienna and learn that more about that, and, but that didn't really inspire me as much as Bratislava did. Just for the sheer humanity and niceness of the people in Bratislava and the niceness of the women I was dating at the time in Bratislava, it was really, really nice and refreshing in Bratislava. But then I discovered Belgrade. I had been the year before, 2006, for the first time, but then my second time in Belgrade, and the time I went to Gucha in 2007 really captured my heart. And so when I went back to Canada that year after living in Vienna and Bratislava and visiting Belgrade, my mind was all on Belgrade. And I'm happy to say that 11 years later, 10 and a half years, my mind is still in Belgrade. I've made this channel, still love my life here, still love the people. Oh my God, the people, I think Serbian people are the people I have most in common with in the way that I express myself, at least, in the way that I just speak my mind. Serbian people are like that. And Slovaks and Austrians, not really. I don't know what it is, but I ended up like that. Maybe it was the mix of the Slavic and German culture that my grandparents grew up in that they passed on to me, or maybe it's the fact that I mixed with that German ancestry with my Ukrainian, so it's, whatever. But Serbian, those are my people. So yeah, I guess you understand that if you've been to Bratislava and Belgrade, you can definitely say that Belgrade is the most happening place of the two, and of the three if you count Vienna in there as well. So yeah, I mean, that's why I live in Belgrade, not Bratislava. Although, hint hint, if there's any Slovak girls watching, I think I would consider a serious relationship with a Slovak woman, and it might be preferable for me and my temperament than a lot of the Serbian women. Even though I'm a loud, outrageous person, maybe this beast can be tamed. But anyways, this is why I make these videos, just so I can get these things off my chest, make a record of who I am, and if any sort of insights that I have to offer can be amusing, entertaining, or helpful, to other people. So yeah, back in Belgrade after I played last night in Bratislava with my band. It was great. Lots of girls dancing after the show, going around, meeting the girls, talking to them. Na 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 na. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still single. I would like to meet a nice Slovak girl, nice Serbian woman, nice Ukrainian woman, Russian woman, Polish woman. I don't know, but definitely Belgrade is where I want to live. I can't imagine living in Bratislava and being satisfied, even with Vienna and Bratislava together. So that's it for me, folks. Belgrade's the place, but I'm gonna keep on living in an international way. Heading to my second trip to Thailand in a couple weeks now. Yeah, what can I say? That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and keep on rocking, guys. And if you like this video, subscribe. Yeah, thanks a lot. Love Bratislava, love Belgrade. Live in Belgrade.